Hey YouTube, this one is for the beginners. If you're not a beginner, leave. But if you're not a beginner and you stayed around, you might actually enjoy this one. This episode, we are talking about beginner woodworking mistakes that are actually quite normal. Now, when I say beginner mistakes that are actually quite normal, to a beginner, they might think they just messed everything up. Like, measure twice, cut once, and you still got the measurement wrong. Happens, folks. I do it all the time. If you're doing smaller cuts or have the ability to add a stop, because it's a repeatable cut because you need a bunch of them. If you're using something like a miter saw, sorry, I'm looking at the tools to get the names right. If you can, clamp a stop block onto it. That really helps because then you just push the board up to the stop block, make your cut, and then you know this board's right. Just if you're going to do it, make sure you measure it after you're done. Like I said, I cut stuff short all the time. Sometimes you have to get another piece of wood and make the cut again. Other times you can adjust from there. Like if you're making something of your own design and you cut it a 1/4 inch short, work with it. Make everything else a 1/4 inch short for one or two or that run. There's always ways to work around everything, and even if you cut that piece of wood and it's too short and you can't do anything with it today, you might need it in the future. Now, I will say don't become a wood hoarder for cutoffs, because I know people that won't throw something that long away. Now, I personally have a 55-gallon drum in the back I throw my cutoffs in. When that thing's full, I'll throw it all out. I don't care. Now, when I say I'll throw it all out, if I have a 2 or 3 foot long piece, obviously I'm going to hang on to that, because I do enough projects that I can actually use that and cut it to what I actually need, and it's still, but I'm talking like sub 18-inch pieces. That's the stuff that I would hang on to a little bit, but not all of it. I'm actually wanting to get somewhere set up where I can do stuff with the smaller pieces, because once that area is full, they're gone. You can clutter shop up so fast with stuff that's too small to work with. So the next one that I thought of is overthinking a project. I don't know about anybody else, but I do that all the time. Absolutely all the time. I try making joints more complicated than they need to be, adding steps where that's not necessary. I mean, that's a very common thing. It does go away a little bit as you get more experience, but it's an easy thing to do. The best advice I can give you if you're worried about it is don't make too many plans. Get your hands dirty quick, because once you're in the shop actually working on it, you'll figure it out. It's usually not too bad, because usually what I do is if I need plans for something, if I don't have a set that I can print out, I'll draw them up, figure them out roughly. I'll start figuring it out as I go. So if you're working on a box and you want it in thinner wood than what you can buy, if you need it like 3/8, and you need the inside to be at least 2 inches, add at least 3/4 to that. Because 2 3/8 is 6/8, which simplifies to 3/4. But I would actually argue add 3 inches, or make it 3 inches, not 2 3/4, unless you need that super tight fit. Because that way it gives you a little bit of wiggle room, and it still is tight enough to be what you need. So, just little things like that, especially when you're just starting, it's really easy to do. Just try to be cognizant of it and just get your hands dirty. Do a lot of dry fits before you commit to anything with glue or nails or screws or stuff like that. You know, just things like that definitely help. And that transitions perfectly into the other note I had, which is being afraid of messing up. I'm afraid I mess up all the time. But it doesn't stop me, because if you mess up, okay, you might have to replace a piece of wood. As long as you don't get hurt, make your mistake. You know, I've ruined plenty of carvings with 4 cuts left. Put a knife right through a little dude's hat. Can't really recover from it because his hat looks too weird. What you gonna do? Toss it and start again. You know, it stinks. It never makes me happy, but it's part of making. It's part of being human. We all make mistakes. We all mess up. It's how you handle it after you've messed up or made your mistake that counts. I'm curious to know what all of your guys' ideas are for beginner mistakes that are actually common. It's just, you know, somebody with a little bit more experience might not necessarily talk about it that much, because I'm used to wondering if I'm going to mess up. I'm used to wondering if there's a soft spot in the wood, or if I'm pushing it through the table saw and wondering if I'm going to catch that one spot that's super hard that's going to stop me dead just about, and really have to muscle through, because my wood is where I'm cutting, pinching on the riving knife. Because I'll be straight with you, if that happens, hold that board with everything you have, and if you can, take your knee and turn the saw off. Because a lot of times what I'll do is do that, pull it up, flip it around, turn the saw back on, push it through the other way. 9 times out of 10, you get your cut without getting hurt. It's when you start forcing stuff into moving blades that you get hurt. But it's a freebie for me, because that's nearly what happened when I cut part of my finger off. And yes, no surgery. I was told it was a miracle cut. But I did lose about 1/4 inch off it. So if you ever ask me how many fingers I have, I can say 9 3/4. I can't really think anything else off the top of my head. So, you know, like I said, I'm definitely interested to know what you guys have to say on the subject, and throw it down below. And let's see if we can find out other stuff that I'm too simple-minded to think of. With that, I'd like to ask you all if I've earned it. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. If you hated it, tell me why. I'm always open to constructive criticism. I'm also open to debates, as long as everything stays civil. Civil being the key word, because I will not argue with a 2-year-old. Yeah, so with that, I will say cat in the hat, dat be dat, and I will see you all in the next one. Be safe, keep making. Have a good one, folks.